As ages passed and the 12 Crusaders became the talk of legends, a great rebellion arose and spread throughout the land of Jugrol.
While on the march through the Yi Desert, Quan and Atlan are suddenly attacked by the Thracian army and killed far from their homeland.
Though grieving the loss of his kin, King Kalf of Leonster fights valiantly. Yet he, too, meets a bitter end, betrayed by his allies, the Connaught army.
The entire army of Thracia seizes upon this chance and assaults Castle Leonster.
As Leonster's army fights in the face of a merciless onslaught, one young knight, Finn, escapes with Prince Leif, Kalf's infant grandson.
As Leif gazes up on the castle, cradled in Finn's arms, can he even begin to understand the terrible sights that meets his eyes?
"13 years later."
No, it's not the length we spent playing FE4, it's actually the start of a new Let's Play. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs.
And I am happy. I am Mecha. I am Thracia. 25.
Have you played this game before? I think you like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know, let me check my playlist. Thracia, playlist, Thracia Iron Man. Let's play Thracia Iron Man. Let's play Thracia.
The long wait is finally over, guys. We are doing Thracia 776. This is a midquel to Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War. It is set between, it's not really set between the first and the second generation. It's more set like at the start of the second generation, if anything.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly.
So, it ends around chapter 8 of FE4. It's kind of weird.
Yes, the year 776, pretty much.
Wow. Mind is blown.
Mind blown, right? That's why it's called that. So, Thracia, it is one of the more infamous games in the series. It has a very, almost like, religious following among a very small base of the Fire Emblem community.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
but there is also a lot of people who look at it and go like, nah, that's too hard for me to play. I don't really want to try. So, for the longest time, we had a really bad translation patch. Not gonna fling dirt at it, I'm very glad we had it, but the Shia patch, as it was called, wasn't very good. But now, we have a new translation patch. This one is called Little Manster. It's the one I'm gonna show off in this playthrough, and it is extremely good. I really look forward to showing you guys all the cool features that it has, along with a much better translated script. And of course, it just is a nice continuation of our Fire Emblem 4 Let's Play. Because, it takes place in the same universe. We follow Leif, the son of Quan, who ended up becoming really good in our playthrough. So let's hope he becomes equally good now, right?
He's actually really good in this game too. It's just in a very different way. But I do really like Leif. I know this game is my favorite game, but Leif is also my favorite lord, so I do look forward to that too.
And also, one thing we haven't really seen much is an actual translated intro. This is something that we didn't have for the longest time. They just said blue.
Yes, question mark. I'm kind of sad to see the end of that kind of stuff. But,
yeah.
Translated stuff is cool too, I guess.
Also the end of America, but,
People need to get over that, dude.
It's a dumb meme, but, ever since Kemp's voice actor in Heroes mentioned it on Twitter, people have been going nuts over it.
Oh, people have been going nuts over America for ages.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big deal. I think we can agree Europe is much better anyway.
Oh, shots fired. Alright, so yeah, we are going to be jumping into a new game here. No Paragon mode, we play it hardcore here on the channel. I am going... a lot of...
Let me just say, if you think this game is too hard for you, Max is going to beat it, so... I mean, you could probably do it too.
So I'm going to try to aim for a good rank. In Thracia, you can obtain an Sss Rank by clearing the game, like, I think it's like in 179 turns or something like that. And there's only really 2 ranks. You just gotta recruit everyone and keep them alive, and then you gotta beat a turn count. There's no XP requirements or anything like that. I am not going to get the Sss Rank without, like, a lot of planning. It is too hard to get, and it also requires a lot of warp skip. But I'm really happy if I can get, like, at least the A rank. That should be doable if I play somewhat quickly.
So that's what what you're training yourself to, right?
Yeah.
A rank is good enough, B rank is I failed, okay.
Yes, A rank is what I'm gonna try to get. So,
okay.
Go ahead, Mecha.
Barely escaping the burning of Castle Leonster with his life, the young Prince Leif was looked after by Finn, his knight and retainer, and Minijagan. Together with Nana, a young noblewoman under Finn's care, the trio fled pursuers sent by the conquerors of North Thracia, it's an awful tongue breaker, the Granville Empire, which lay to the west. Yet Finn proved stronger than those who hunted them, and the 3 made their way to the cities of Ulster, Tara, posing as common vagrants. Eventually, they drifted into Fianna, a small village on Thracia's eastern coasts. Fianna was an independent community with its own militia, the Fianna Freeblades, led by the swordswoman Avel. Avel welcomed Leif's group as if they were her own kin. Under her watchful eye, the deposed prince spent his childhood in Fianna, growing into maturity alongside youths of common birth. Now, in year 776 of the Granville calendar, we got the bargain band. I mean the thief band. I mean the other thing.
This is actually the place where you get the thief band, which is kind of hilarious.
This is parody.
Have you found that whelp of a prince yet? Regretfully no, my lord. The men searched the village top to bottom, but came up with nothing. Why such a simple task taking you so long? There's little doubt that the heir of House Leonster is hiding here. You've been too gentle with these villagers. Give them ample motivation to talk. We are of the same mind, my lord. I've already ordered the men to do as much, yet the townfolk claim the prince isn't here. According to them, he left with the Freeblades to fend off a pirate raid on a nearby village. Freeblades? What nonsense is that? They're the local militia, sire. As I understand it, the village was once home to a group of brigands, rather savage ones at that. About a decade ago, they were routed by Avel, a wandering sellsword. She claimed the village as her own and founded the Freeblades to protect the region from future attacks. She's supposedly quite a wonder with a sword. She may be a problem. You have nothing to fear, my lord. We've taken Avel's daughter captive. What's more, we also captured the daughter of Finn, the very knight guarding the prince's life. With the leverage we have over them, they'll have no choice but to surrender. I admit you have your uses, Weissman. The woman will accompany me back to Munster. Yep, this is the official translation, guys. Deal with it. You'll remain here and prepare for when these upstart rebels return. See that young Leonster pup is put in chains, befitting a stray mutt. Your trust in me is well placed, sire. No, it's not. Men, bring the girls here.
I think these guys are evil. I'm not sure though.
I think maybe, yeah. I mean, wearing red armor is always a good sign.
It's a dead giveaway.
What's your name, lass? A fighting spirit to match a pretty face. Now let's have a look at the other one. You must be Finn's young ward. I hear your mother was royalty of House Nordion, is that right? You certainly don't lack for grace, despite living in this backwater howl. Holy blood doesn't run thin even in squalor, I see. That. What a pleasant surprise the two of you make for. Weissman, I'll be reporting from Munster now. Don't disappoint me. All shall be as you wish it, my lord. And off they go.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom 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 nom. He just rescues both of them. That's how much con he has.
I always like to say he eats them.
Uh-oh. I'm a red unit.
Where's the bandits at?
Yeah, this is a Fire Emblem game. Why aren't we fighting bandits in the first map? What's that commotion in the village? Something's rotten here. I'll scout ahead, Commander. Hold here a moment.
Sneaking around on the SNES.
Stealth chapter.
So cute.
Commander, Fianna is packed to the brim with Imperial troops. They must have struck while we were away. What? No way is the Empire gonna make a mess of our home. Commander, let's move in. Calm down, Ocean. We'll get slaughtered if we just charge in blindly. Yeah, Halvan, I'm sure the villagers will appreciate your patient attitude while everyone's being rounded up and jailed. Peace, Ocean. Halvan is right. Seems we've finally been noticed by the Empire. Looks like this is goodbye, Little Leaf. I'm sorry. Finn, take him as far away from here as you can. Leave the soldiers to us. No, Commander. Nana is still in the village. I won't leave without her. I'll get her back, don't worry. It's more than that, Commander. I won't run away anymore. That's my decision to make. Finn, you want to weigh in here? You're going to let little Lord Leaf throw himself into harm's way like this? Lord Leaf has seen the passing of 15 summers by now. At least in the Japanese version. He's old enough to choose for himself, and as my liege...
He's only a Japanese version.
I will abide by his judgment. Has it been that long already? I suppose I let Little Leaf come with us to fight off those pirates myself. Guess I made up my own mind when I did that. If Finn's alright with it, so am I. Then what's the holdup? Come on, if we're done arguing, there's an invasion happening over that ridge. Alright, get ready to move in, but stay sharp. Most foot soldiers are just regular folk forced into the Imperial Army against their will. If they surrender, just take their weapons and let them go, are we clear? But we can still blood them until they surrender, right? I mean, we can't put up a good fight ourselves. We'll be the ones suffering. Or surrendering. Knock them around if you have to, sure, but don't overdo it. That means you, Ocean. Hey, come on, give me some credit, Commander. Okay, enough chatter. Let's give the Empire a battle worthy of our names as Free Blades. And that's it. Welcome to Chapter 1 of Fire Emblem 5. One of the more unique Chapter 1s in the series, because it doesn't actually involve battling bandits, but actually Imperial soldiers.
Don't worry, we go back to the bandits next chapter.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll revert to good old times. So yeah, there's a lot we have to go into here. Obviously, we're going to review the units. Thracia has a lot of mechanics. We're not gonna start the entire first episode off by explaining every one of them. I've instead decided that we're just going to talk about them whenever they become relevant. So the first time we attempt to capture, we talk about capture. When fatigue becomes relevant, we talk about fatigue, and so forth. I'm assuming most of you who are watching are somewhat familiar with Thracia, but if this is the first time you watch and you have no experience with it whatsoever, we will go through the basic mechanics of this game.
Can I plug my guides for a minute? Because I made a bunch of guides.
Yeah, yeah, I could just throw your guide in the video description, honestly, if you want to go for a more detailed approach.
Yeah, so I made a spoiler-free guide for if you want to play this game on your own without being spoiled anything, because I think discovering things on your own in this game is super rewarding and fun. Mm-hmm. So all I'm explaining in that guide is how to recruit certain characters and how to not miss out on super deep stuff.
For everything else, there's always Model Omega's beginner's guide. Oh, alright.
Pitfall.
So, first and foremost, I just want to show off this amazing translation patch that was sent to me by Miyakis? Is that how you pronounce their name?
I try to say Miasis, but I really have no idea.
Miasis. So we're using the Little Monster translation patch, which was embroiled in some controversy, but I don't care. I really love this patch. It's amazing. It shows, as you can see, weapon previews right here. It looks really clean. It displays crit as well as follow-up critical modifier. It just is a really, and it even shows weapon experience right here, something that we were previously not able to do. It just showed the rank, but now we actually see that Ocean is 10 weapon experience away from leveling up his axe rank, which is really amazing. The Little Monster patch has a ton of other quality of life improvements that I'll get into when we see them. There's a couple I'm really excited to show off, but first, guys, let's do what you are all really here for. Let's review the units. So, say hello to Leaf. He is the main character of this game. Let's just say, I think public opinion on Leaf has shifted quite a bit over the years. He used to be viewed as a pretty bad character. Mm-hmm. People don't like him. They compared him to, Binding Blades Roy, as, a foot-locked, sword-locked guy. And he got a lot of shit flinged. I think he was actually at some point called, the weakest lord in the series. Mm-hmm. But that has kind of changed, and my perception has changed along with the public. Mecha's waifu video on Leaf was pretty elaborate and explains this in great detail, so I'm not just gonna go into everything here. But briefly explained, Leaf comes with a personal sword, the Light Brand, which is locked to him in this game. Allows him to attack at range, gives him plus 10 luck, which is really nice. Thracia stat caps are locked at 20, so you cannot get more than 20 in any stat. So any weapon that gives you a plus 10 in a stat, I don't think I need to explain why that's good. He comes with Adept, which is a pretty good skill for him to have. Allows him to sometimes attack again. And he also comes with a Vigor Star, which is cool right now. So I do believe that's a 5% chance for him to get another action at the end of his turn. And he also has a follow-up critical modifier of 2. Now this is a hidden stat in Thracia.
Yes.
Used to be a hidden stat, not anymore. That multiplies your secondary attacks crit rating. So if Leaf has a 10% chance to crit and he attacks, and on the second attack he'll have 20%. That's kind of nice. Some characters have a lot more, and it really makes or breaks certain characters, really.
Yeah, it can really increase their offense, yeah.
Leaf as a unit, he starts out a little weak. His bases aren't the best. His growth rates are passable, but they're not, like, spectacular. So many people, they look at Leaf and they go like, this is not really a good unit. But what I like about Leaf is that he has a ton of like really cool hidden qualities that I'll let Mecha elaborate on a little bit later. But briefly explained, he supports a lot of his allies by 10%, some by 20%, I do believe. He supports like a huge part of the cast, like 15 characters. So just keeping him in the center of your army will often buff the rest of your squad, which is really helpful.
Yeah, it's only 10% for him. He doesn't have any 20% supports, I don't believe.
Oh, I thought he had one with Nana, but...
I'll double check it, but nah, it's not. I don't think it's Nana. Go ahead, continue. I'll just check it real quick.
And I find that investing a lot into Leaf, there's a couple of stat boosters that you get in the early game, really does well for him. You can easily get him to a point where he doubles and reliably one-rounds most enemies he goes up against. And he's just a really nice unit to have around, and he's also pretty durable. Like, he grows into a pretty durable unit. It's very hard Leaf is not like Roy, where like he'll die a lot in the mid to late game if you pull him into combat. He's actually pretty passable. And while he's like, he'll never get a mount and he'll always be locked to swords, I don't really feel like Leaf suffers the same fate as a lot of the other sword-locked lords in the series. He actually grows into a pretty competent combat unit, and because he doesn't get fatigued, which is another mechanic we'll go into later, he's always around. Like, you never really have to bench him. He's the main lord, and that there's some merit to that, for sure. Now, as to what we should rate Leaf, like star-wise, I thought a lot about this, and I think I'm gonna end on a 4 out of 5 star rating. I actually think he's a really good unit. He isn't really worth the 5 stars. He's no Sigurd, but I think that he's actually like one of the more interesting and viable lords in the series, if you know how to actually utilize him.
Yeah, as almost always, I agree with your with the general trend of what you're saying. Is like a couple nitpicks I have, but generally I agree with what your assessment of Leaf. I also think he's a 4-star unit. In the grand scale of things, there are some units that are really, really powerful, and I think Leaf is definitely like a tier below them, if you will. But he does have like a lot of really good qualities. A lot of these little qualities I find a little bit overrated individually. I don't think they're that impactful. For example, that move against star. Most people can't really plan around getting a 5% proc. Magnus can because he's lucky, but most people cannot. So you can't really rely on that happening. So usually you'll play as if it isn't happening, and then like 95% of the time that is the right move to do. So it doesn't really help you very much in practice, but sometimes you get lucky and it helps you when it's nice. Same goes for Adept. In FE4, Adept is attack speed plus 20% chance to activate. So and then Leaf speed is also a lot higher in that game. So in that game you can like expect Adept rates of like 30 to 40 to maybe even 50% depending on the units. In this game he starts with 5 speed and Adept is only attack speed %, no plus 20 bonus or anything. So right now, if he doesn't weigh himself down, he has 5% adept. That's terrible. And then he also weighs down himself a lot by the light brand, like reduces him to 0 speed actually right now, because his light brand is so heavy at 10 weight. Even Iron Sword weighs him down a little bit, so that gets even lower than that. So generally I don't find adept to be very good on him. He gets leadership stars later on, like 1 or 2, depending on what point in the story we're in. The supports you already mentioned, they're pretty good. Some of them are really good units, some of them are really bad units, but some fun to use units as well. The Nana support, for example, is very good. He supports Finn as well, who's really good. He supports Asbel, who we're getting later. All those are like wonderful support bonuses for him, and he's really nice as a supportive unit. A lot of people like to use the Kingmaker on him when we get him. That's also really good. But he does have some issues. I don't find Leaf himself to be like a very durable unit. I think the reason he turns into a durable unit for a lot of people, for one, is just people just throw a lot of scrolls on him a lot of the time. Especially after he promotes. He gains an XP bonus after promoting, basically.
That lets him level up really fast, and as a result, he's a very good target for those growth boosted scrolls we're getting later. We'll probably explain those too. Basically, we get like star shards from FE3, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So those boosts to his HP, I think those and the stat boosters you want to give him are usually the cause of why he's so durable. Generally, his HP growth and defense growth are not very outstanding, but you have a good reason to make him more durable, especially if you're playing an Iron Man, but even normally it's nice to have a Leaf that's very durable. So Leaf does turn into a competent unit because you can make almost anyone competent in this game if you want to, and Leaf is definitely one that's like it's easy to deal with because he's so available and like he's there every chapter for you. So it's pretty easy to do that, but it doesn't come by itself. You do have to put a bit of work in. But still, I think all of his qualities combined, I think 4-star unit is fair.
All right. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite little mini Jagan. Will he hit max level in this LP? We'll see. Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I have experience with Finn in Let's Plays.
Good old Finn. He's back, and he is pretty amazing in this game. So, yeah, Finn. Many people like think he's a pre-promote, but he's actually not. He's a level 7 tier 1 class in this game. I really like Finn. He is a Lance Knight. He has pretty decent bases and also pretty decent growths. So he'll start out well and he grows really well, and he also gets to promote in this game and get some nice promotion bonuses out of it, which is really nice. In Thracia, mounted units have to dismount on indoor chapters, but I don't really think this is like a huge penalty for Finn because there's a lot of outdoor maps, and on those maps you're really going to enjoy mounted units because they do have super canto in this game. Finn comes with his personal weapon, the Brave Lance, which he can use in this game, and yeah, it's a Brave Lance. It's pretty good. It also has 10% crit on it, very decent mind, good accuracy, and it gives him +10 luck, just like Leaf's Light Brand, so it like boosts his avoidance by a little bit, which is nice. He comes with Miracle, which to my knowledge works a little bit different in this game. It actually just says here, it's like luck times 3% chance of avoiding a fatal attack. So it doesn't work the way it did in FE4, where you can kind of like cheese it. It's basically just luck times 3, but this is nice because it gets boosted by his personal weapon. So just right now, I think he has like a 45% chance of dodging a lethal hit, right?
Yeah.
So that is really nice. You won't probably have to rely on that though, because Finn is pretty tanky and pretty durable.
I have faith in you. You'll rely on it.
Oh yeah, I'll rely on it at some point. It also comes with a leadership star, which is nice. So leadership stars in this game, they are global. They boost hit and avoid for your entire army by 3%, and they stack. So deploying Finn is basically like deploying a skill that grants 3% hit and avoid to your entire army, which is, there's always some merit in that. So I like Finn a lot. He does get taken away from you during the monster escape sequence, but so does a lot of other characters. And then once he comes back, he'll stay with you for good, or until you get him killed, whichever one comes first. I think Finn is honestly a 5-star unit in this game. He is really, really, really strong, and there's very little incentive not to field him if you have a deployment slot for him. He's also really good at capturing. He's like one of the only characters you have in the early game that's like, aside from maybe Dagdar, that like reliably captures enemies. And there's a lot of merit for that. We'll get into capturing a little bit later.
Yes, I am torn between 4 and 5 stars for Finn. I'll just say that straight up because there are some maps where he doesn't really do very much actively, the indoor maps as you mentioned, because he has to dismount. Finn does have a base sword rank of, I believe, like D plus 40, yeah, D plus 30, there we go. So he's close to C swords, which is a good benchmark for a couple of really powerful swords. But generally he's much less optimal indoors than outdoors because he loses a lot of movement. He can only use swords indoors, no more Brave Lance for him there. And almost all the end game is indoor maps, and a lot of maps in between are also indoor maps. I still field him for a lot of them because the leadership star alone is worth it. As well as his ability to be, I think he doesn't support anyone actively, I don't think, but he does get supported by Leaf, so he can still do his thing indoors, but he's much worse. Indoors, I would say he's like a 3 to 4 star unit. I still field him because leadership, but he doesn't really fight very well. Outdoors, though, I agree, he's an absolute monster. He starts out a little stronger than like your average growth unit at like level 7. His base is reflected, his personal weapon reflects it, he's super powerful. Great at capturing, also just great at killing things generally. I think the Brave Lance even has some crit on it.
Yep, 10%.
Yeah, so that lets him like kill almost everything reliably. The hit rate on it is very good. Generally in early game, if something goes wrong, you have like a lot of units that can just bail you out instantly. This is like one of the strongest early game armies you have, and Finn is one of them. I'm still not sure. Like Thracia's like it's like Raging Radiant Dawn units in a way.
Yeah.
In Radiant Dawn we had like Soth, for example, who like starts off very good, but then is very bad late in the game. And units like Finn and Ava, a lot of these others feel like that, where a single star rating doesn't really reflect how good a unit is a lot of the time. And Thracia has a lot of different maps like that. It's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because every map plays very differently. So depending on the map, Finn could either be one of your best units or just kind of a middling one. Never a bad one though. So I think for now I'm going to go with a tentative 4 stars out of 5. It's kind of painful because Finn is so good. But there's a couple of units I just think are like a tier better almost. Actually, I can't think of that many of them. Okay, I'm already changing my mind. Okay, 5 stars for Finn. There's not that many units that are better than Finn. I can't think of that too many. We'll go with 5 for now.
All right.
5. 5 points.
Here's your second Jagan.
Yes, do it for Avel.
Yeah, do it for Avel. Here she is. Avel, totally not Bridget, is a sword master. And one look at her bases, you're gonna look at that and think, wow, she's really, really strong. And she is. In fact, she cannot die. She is protected by plot armor, so any lethal attacks against her will just miss, for reasons which you'll understand later on in the story. But yeah, she is a total monster. I think she one-rounds pretty much anything she goes up against. I don't think there's a lot of things that can withstand an attack from Avel. And she comes with a very useful flame sword, which also grants 5 magic to whoever holds it, so it's a little bit of extra damage at range. Remember to take this off her later. The problem with Avel is that she gets taken away from you pretty early on in the story, and then she doesn't come back until like the second to last map. So she's not really going to be around for a while. She just isn't very available. But for the time she is available, definitely make use of her to get you out of chinky situations. Don't hesitate to give her a kill or two if it's going to make things easier for you. I find that Avel, despite her blazing speed, isn't super good at capturing, unless she uses the flame sword. If she uses the iron blade, for example, her AS will very often drop to 0 when she captures. So she doesn't have the best of con either, so you want to use Finn for your capturing needs, but Avel's pretty nice for when you just need to kill something dangerous. So don't be afraid of the XP police. They may seem scary, but definitely don't be afraid to use Avel to bail you out of sticky situations. I think I'm gonna give her like 3 out of 5 stars, because at the end of the day, she's just there for the first few maps and then she goes away. I can't really rate a unit that's gone for like 80% of the game more than 3 stars.
That's fair. I don't think her AS is like quite 0 when you put it on with the Iron Blade, because it only goes 15, right? So you have her speed to 10, and then she gets -7 from the Iron Blade. She's like 3. I guess it still doesn't double anything. So we'll give Mags a pass at that one. Avel, I find her most useful for boss killing early in the game, because bosses in this game are on gates and thrones that give +10 defense. And Avel's a flame sword, as you said, and that hits on resistance, or rather magic in this game. Those are the same stat. So when you use the flame sword on a boss, it's a lot more effective than hitting him at close range. So that's going to be very helpful. She also has an adept, fairly decent crit rate. And also she has leadership stars. She has like 1.
Yep, she has 1 leadership star.
Yeah, 1 leadership and then 2 movement stars, I believe. So that's also like a point in her favor, I guess. Again, not very reliable, but they're nice to have. If I could give Avel a rating for like the first X amount of chapters that you have her, I would just give her 5 stars, and that's about it. And then later on, you have the choice whether to field her or not when she's like less optimal. And then she might be kind of bad. I don't even find her that bad late in the game. I'm not going to get into exactly how the late game works. But I don't even find her bad there. But I do agree that like the lack of availability in between is very bad. It's again very deceptive. Kind of like putting 1 rating on a unit like this is not very fair.
Nope.
But if I had to give 1, it would be 3 stars. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then let's talk about our 2 fighter bros. We'll talk about the best one for last. Here's Halvan. He is one of the 2 fighters that you get. And for all intents and purposes, I like Halvan a lot. I feel like he gets overshadowed by Ocean a lot. Like, people go like, oh, why use Halvan when Ocean's there? But Halvan is no shabby unit in its own right. I like his bases. They're really good. Like, he has 7 AS. That's enough to double in 1 run most of the soldiers on this map. And enough to double a lot of enemies as long as he grows his speed growth. Like, his speed growth is not that great. I think it's like 30 or 35%. But it's passable. It's passable enough for Thracia.
It's 30.
And it can be fixed with Crusader Scroll if you so wish. Halvan's main selling point is his insanely high follow-up critical modifier of 4, which means that any of his secondary attacks will have their crit multiplied by 4 times. So you give him any sort of axe with a little bit of crit on it, he's very likely to crit on a second attack. Give him a killer axe and I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. You can capture like battle axes in the early game. I think they have like baseline 10% crit, so he actually becomes really good with those. It comes with Vantage, which is not really that great. just allows him to always attack first. There's some funny things you can do with this, like you give him a really strong weapon and he gets attacked by, you know, enemies that he can kill either with a hit or a crit. Can maybe save him sometimes, but it's mostly just not something that you tend to notice, at least not for me. And no, it does not stack with Wrath. Just thought I'd let you guys know. I know I got tricked by on stream. It does not stack. So yeah, you can also visit a village with him to get a Brave Axe, but it's not locked to him. I tend to just give this to Dagdar, but he can use it at base. He actually has I think the Brave Axe just doesn't have a very high requirement in this game, because he has D rank.
D rank, yeah, it's insane.
As for what to rate Alhalvan, I think he's like in the middle, honestly. I'd say 3 out of 5 stars, probably fair for him. I have used him in a couple of my playthroughs, but I do tend to find that, you know, I hate to use this phrase, but he does tend to fall a little bit off if you don't invest into him. But he's very passable for the first arc.
Yeah, somehow I was like disagreeing with like a lot of what you were saying, that we ended up, you said 3 stars, I was like, okay, I'm actually fine with that. I have like the bit of a reverse mind when it comes to like Halvan and comparing him to Orson. I feel like a lot of people, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Orson, I know he's like, oh,
yeah, just call him Orson, that's okay.
His name changed like 5 times. His name used to be Othin too, it's like different all over the place. The point was, I think a lot of people give Halvan a free pass because he's like Orson, and Orson is awesome. He's super, super good. And Halvan is like, he has some qualities that Orson has too, but he's missing most of the crucial ones that make Orson so good. Halvan is just, if it was like a GBA Fire Emblem game, I think Halvan would be like a very acceptable fighter to have. Because as you said, his bases are pretty decent. I don't think they're great, but they're good enough for this chapter. And he can get stuff done. He can use the Brave Axe if you really need to. But what worries me about Halvan is, well, first of all, like, he lacks any kind of other utility. Like, for example, Finn is very good at capturing. He doesn't have like any leadership stars or movement stars. Fontage, I don't think, is a very good skill. It's okay with the Brave Axe, it lets him attack before they attack him, and it works at full health, so he doesn't even have to like weaken himself for it. So it's nice, but it's not as good as like Wrath is, for example. So that's like a bit of a problem. About the his offense later on, I don't know. Depends like what enemies you face, I guess. But I find that Halvan doesn't have that many reliable crit setups. There's not that many killer axes available, which is the main way to get that max out crit. Like Orson, you can get the crit through the Pooji, but Halvan doesn't have that option. You like the killer axe, and you say you have battle axes. I never thought of that. I think that was like a very funny option. It does give him like 10 crit in addition to what he has. But the problem is that I think they're mostly on enemy armor knights that are hard to capture in places that you don't really want to spend your time capturing, like in the Manstar arc. So it's kind of annoying to get him those battle axes, but I know dashing comes with one, so I guess there's one available. It weighs him down by 2 points right now. He might grow a point of build somewhere. He has a 30% growth in it, so maybe that won't be an issue, but that might also be a problem. You can try to prove me wrong a little bit by getting some more battle axes to maybe make him good. I personally just don't find Halvan to be very enjoyable to use because he just has nothing special going for him. He doesn't have like good one-to range either. He's like, hand axes are absolute garbage in this game.
Yeah, they are.
And again, Orson has the Pooji, and Halvan doesn't have such an option. That's like part of what makes Orson so good that I find Halvan's really missing. So he's just a good combat unit, and in most games that will be good enough to get him a high ranking. But in this game, I feel like you always want units to have some kind of additional utility, and I just find Halvan has very little of it. So Halvan is just like a nice combat unit filler for the early game, but later on you get so many different and more interesting and more useful units overall than Halvan that I can't really give him any higher than like a 3-star. And I want to give him a 2-star, but I think it sounds like I'm too biased against him, so I'm just gonna go with 3 stars for now.
Yep. And lastly, we have probably like one of the most accidentally popular memes on my channel. The Poogie Poogie. You've probably seen it. Here is Ocean. He's the wielder of the so-called Poogie, although it's not named that in this translation patch.
No, they call it Iron Axe instead, I can see it.
Iron Axe is his new weapon. Ocean is really, really good. One of my favorite units in Thracia. Probably like the most unit I like the most in Thracia. I really, really, really like this unit. His bases are comparable to Halvan, although he's a little faster. And his growth rates are also like nothing too spectacular. It's like 30% in most areas. But what Ocean have, and what makes him so ridiculously good, are 2 components. Firstly, he comes with Wrath, which is on steroids in Thracia. He always crits when he counters if he hits his opponents, which he often will do, because he's strangely accurate. Wrath just makes Ocean so ridiculously strong. Crits follow the same formula in FE5 as they did in FE4, which just basically doubles his might before defense. So it becomes actually a very viable way to deal with bulky units such as Armor Knights, because it allows you to bypass defenses in a way that normal crits in other Fire Emblem games don't. His second component is his personal axe, the Bouge. I do believe that's what they call it.
Is it Vogue now because of Heroes?
Vogue? I think it's Vogue, yeah. I think that's... I like saying Bouge, but it's Vogue.
Finally gets used to a new translation, has to change it again.
I know, right? It was the Bouge, the Vogue, the Poogie. I mean, come on. Let's settle on one already.
Don't Orson's Hatchet, let's go.
Orson's Hatchet, that's what it's called in Awakening. And the Vogue is just really, really good. It's a 1-2 range axe with a ton of crit on it, combined with Wrath and his extremely high follow-up critical modifier of 3. Ocean's just a crit machine. He'll just crit all the time, every time. And yeah, he's ridiculous. I find that if you invest into Ocean, he becomes one of your best fighters. I'm actually going to do something that I think Mecha's going to disagree with. I'm going to rate him 5 out of 5 stars. I think he's a fantastic unit on the to have on your team. Once you get him promoted to hero, he just tears through whatever comes at him. And while his Vogue only has like 60 uses, which quite a lot for a personal weapon, you get the Hammer and Staff in this game, which you can use 5 times, and you can even get a second one if you go for the B route. So I find that you pretty much will always have it available if you want. And with it, he can just decimate entire armies. I love this guy. He's a monster.
Okay, before I get into your rating of him, I just want to talk about how the color palettes or whatever they did to this game make it look like Orson is sawing the O of his name in half in the upper left corner of the screen.
It does.
I don't know if that's because of the changes to however things look, or if it's just something.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
I just think it's adorable.
It is. He wants to be named Ucian. He wants to show. He wants to hack off the top of the O.
Yeah, so I don't have too much to add, other than the fact that yes, there are maps where Orson is super, like, not super bad, but like not one of your most useful units because, for example, staff units in this game end up absolutely ridiculous late in the game. And those maps Orson is not that great in. That said, everything else about the guy is just amazing. He grows into some good durability. This game has a very distinct lack of good 1-2 range units. It has like a couple, and you see those a lot when I play because I use them all the time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of rare to have a unit with good 1-2 range in this game. The Poochie in particular is like so accurate. It always crits twice. I don't know if you mentioned this, but he still has like a decent pursuit critical of 3.
Yep. Yeah, 3. It says there.
Yeah. I keep looking at like Restraints Force tab for it, and I realize the game actually has it now, which is like super amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, not just Wrath is gonna crit. He's gonna crit like all the time. He can double crit in a lot of battles on enemy phase, and that lets him pierce through just about everything, like you said. And the Poochie alone will give him enough crit to one-out just about anything, even on player phase. Enemy phase heavy maps, there's not that many of them in this game, but when they are there, Orson is just a godsend. I can think of like maybe 1 or 2 units that have offense that matches. So if his Vulcan is good and his range is good, and his offense and his defense are just both spectacular, I really can't rate him any lower than 5 stars. I really can't. I think he's good enough to get that rating. This is rare for Thracia. I do think initial utility is nice, but I think Orson is definitely like... I think if he's not the best combat unit in the game, he's at least top 3. So I think it's fair to rate him that high.
Yeah, and in any other game, I would like penalize him for not having a mount, but for Ocean, it actually works in his favor because...
A little bit, yeah.
On the indoor maps, your cavalry is dismounted and they have to use swords, whereas he is as strong on indoor maps as he's...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would love for him to have Super Canto and more mobility on the outdoor maps, but I think it's a nice trade-off. So there's some more units that are going to be joining later, but we're going to review them in Chapter 2. To spread out the unit reviews.
Wait, you mean we're gonna actually play the game?
Yeah, we're actually gonna play the game now. So again, I do want to move like somewhat quickly and try not to like dilly-dally around too much because I want to go for that A rank, so we'll see. But it's in this chapter I like to send you. You want to send like Ocean towards this house because that's where he gets the Poochie, and you want to send pretty much just everyone else this way. You can dismount, but there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, you really don't want to dismount, actually, because you can't undo it in this game without losing your turn.
This is not Tree Houses where you can, like...
Yeah,
where you can do that kind of stuff.
You can't even undo it the same turn. It's actually like one of the worst options to hit when you're like going through menus blindly.
Oh, okay. So the AI in Thracia, there's no clever mode. this AI.
Maybe we'll stop making jokes about it then.
I actually like to capture this guy. He usually tends to go for for Leaf, but now he went for Finn. I guess that's just due to how I positioned him.
I didn't think he didn't go for Leaf because Leaf was in the range.
I think that's too. So I want to show you guys a really cool feature right now. If I press D, I can skip animations.
Oh, neat.
That is
very
really,
advanced. That's like,
really cool. So it's
was
like
first put in like Radiant Dawn or something.
Yep.
Like
So with a
6 games later.
button, I can skip map animations, which is or force map animations. I think is more likely, which is saves me a lot of time. It's really nice when you face like siege tomes and ballista and stuff like that, and you just don't want to watch all the animations. Or if you do you prefer to capture this guy? I don't.
No. This guy is very high level and kind of annoying to hit because he's in the house, I think. Yeah. I just attack him. You probably won't one round, but that way you get a little more XP out of him.
Yeah.
Then...
So also one of the things I love about this patch, it shows that it always shows attack speed, but it displays actual crits in battle, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, it used to have level in its place in the bottom right, but now you just see your crit. And it's annoying for me because I'm so used to level, I keep looking at it to see what level my units are for some reason.
Also, another fantastic feature of Little Monster. Look at that, we have hit point bars on the minimap. So and at first when Mia showed me this, Mia was like, look at this hit point bars. I'm like, I'm not seeing any hit point bars. I'm like, no, they're there. And then I realized they put red and green. And I was like, oh, right. And then Mia actually sent me a different patch with updated colors so I could see them. So thank you, Mia. That was very nice of you. So, like I get a colorblind version of the ROM all to myself. So now I do believe the time has come to capture. Yeah. So capturing in this game works very simple. You hit a capture command and you halve your stats, except for I do believe luck.
And HP, I guess.
And HP. And if you can still kill the opponent, which you should be able to here because Finn is busted, you force rescue them into your inventory. Oh, I pressed D there by accident. There we go. He takes him in, and now anyone who has the con to take him can take the guy off him. However, Abel does have the con, so she can take, and then we can take the javelin and vulnerary off him. And because Thracia has this amazing thing called unlimited trading,
or Thracia trading,
Thracia trading, as you know it's called, she can release the opponent. Bosses, when captured, actually have their own escape quotes, which is kind of funny. I don't think there is ever a I remember someone saying in a guide, I think, that like a pitfall guide, that if you like release bosses, they may come back later. But I don't think that ever happens in Thracia.
I don't think so, but I haven't experimented with it too much because I don't capture bosses too much. I think it's worth mentioning that you can only capture an enemy if your con is higher than theirs. And the reason Finn can capture almost everything is because he's mounted. And when it comes to capturing, mounts are treated as having 20 con.
Yes, so they can. So as long as the enemy doesn't have 20 con or a mount, they can always capture. Another amazing aspect of Little Monster: whenever a boss doesn't move, it actually displays no range, which I think is a really cool addition. Yes, you could argue this makes the game a little easier because now you will always know the AI of the opponent. If they have, like this guy for example, he doesn't move, so his move is actually displayed as 0.
It works on every enemy. Oh, nice.
Yeah, any enemy that has the stationary AI actually gets displayed as such. Yes, this makes the game easier, but this is knowledge you have access to if you know where to look. I think it just makes the game more convenient.
I'm okay with this one, yeah. I try to. Some people know me as like a purist for this game. I don't mind features like this too much. There is one that I like that we like argued over a little bit. Like not really argued, but like discussed over a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I think that's going a little too far for my taste. And I was like, nope.
This patch actually allows you to swap deployment order around, which we'll get into once we get there. And that definitely does make the game a lot easier, but I think it's a welcome. Tainted run.
Tainted patch.
Oh boy, I can't believe we tainted the run already.
Hey, you tainted it the moment you applied the patch, man.
So, Ocean got a crit there because of Wrath, so that's really nice. Oh, we got a party here. What kind of party would it be, I wonder?
Here we go again.
Papa, the fighting started already.
Ain't no good way to go about this damn battle. Don't matter how good Ava is, there's only one of her and over a dozen of them. We need to hurry.
Yeah, we gotta save the poor soldiers.
So get some more guys and it'll be an even fight.
For crying out loud, not again. So we'll talk more about these guys in detail, but we'll show them off very quickly. Dagdar, he's absolutely amazing. He's a beast of a unit. Pre-promoted warrior. Tanya, yeah. And
Level 2020, best unit.
and Marty, the
Also the best
brigand. Wait, is Dagdar level 20? No, okay.
No. I leveled my Tanya in my Iron Man to level 2020.
Did she turn out good, or was it a disappointment?
She was amazing. It was ridiculously good.
Really?
She got moved 3 times.
Wow. Okay, so she became Ronan, in other words.
Yes, she got the spirit of Ronan. And I also use Marty, because, why not?
I mean, you give him scrolls, he can turn out decent. But yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll review and talk about these units in the next chapter. So yeah, why don't we show off Tanya? The problem with Tanya is that bows cannot capture in this game, so she can never capture a unit. But
I think that's overrated of an issue, honestly.
it is very overrated because, like, yeah, sure, Tanya can capture, but neither can 90% of the rest of the cast.
Yeah, it's not like we're calling Leaf bad because he can't capture, you know?
Yeah, how often do you capture with Leaf? I think in most of my playthroughs, I don't think I capture with Leaf a single time.
Yeah, I think you should generally, as a rule, you should only capture with people that are like good at it, like Dagdar and Finn and like, I don't know, Brave Sword Fergus or something. People like, I don't know, like, I mean, Marty, I guess, with the Brave Axe, but someone like Tanya with her stats, you would never capture with her. It's such a bad idea, because like, it takes such a strong weapon or such good stats to capture with a unit. It's really taxing her stats when you get halved.
I mean, the only reason why Finn can reliably capture is because of his Brave Lance.
Yeah, and it's like slightly higher than average stats, but mostly the Brave Lance. It just has like 14 might or something. It's stupid.
Another amazing aspect of this patch. Speech bubbles.
Oh shit.
Look at that.
That's nice.
That is
not very efficient though. Not a very efficient talk.
Dagdar, yeah, I should have probably not done this. Dagdar, you came to fight with us?
Evil, does me heart good to see you in one piece. Listen, you have any ideas why the Empire would come all the way out here? Do you have anything to do with the boy?
Yeah, little Lord Leaf, he's just not some nobleman. He's the heir to House Leonster. I've been helping him hide from the Empire. I'm sorry, I should have kept it from you. I shouldn't have kept it from you.
Yeah.
I figured as much. Well, no use worrying about it now. As long as I get to cut down some of those Imperial dastards myself, we're even.
And time to get best axe.
You're pulling your weight in the Freeblades, boy. Last thing Commander Abel needs is to babysit you.
We're risking life and limb to protect the village, and you're giving me a lecture? You got a strange sense of gratitude, old man.
Not even the Empire's knocking down our front door can stop that foul mouth of yours, I see. Well, no point dragging this out. Here, this is what you came for, right?
For once, you read my mind. When a fight breaks out, I just feel off without this axe by my side.
Which don't explain why you forget it at home half the damn time.
Hey, I came here for the axe, not to get chewed out.
If that's what all you wanted, then get going. Go on now, don't keep the commander waiting on you.
You don't need to tell me twice.
You know, as much as I love Kaga, I think he kind of stole this scene from Fire Emblem 1 Awakening, where Vike forgets his axe.
Yeah, no, that's very true. How dare he? So yeah, welcome to the Puji. Look how good it is. Look how amazing this thing is. 30 crit, 10 might, 1-2 range, 9 weights. Thanks to his follow-up critical modifier, like the secondary attack's about like 90% plus crit. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm probably going to expend at least 1 hammer and staff on this one. So yeah, this really puts him in his place as a really decent unit.
Yeah, it also puts him in a place on the map where he's probably not seeing any more combat, but it's worth it still.
It's true. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I wanna check out that sweet, sweet light brand boy.
Oh yeah, Leaf is gonna attack actually. This is actually one of the trickier parts of this game is training Leaf in this army, because as I said, almost everyone is so good that they just kill things by themselves, and Leaf is like, can I get some kills, please? Hello? And he doesn't double anything. And then you ask someone else to weaken an enemy, they're like, oh, you mean kill the enemy? Just, like Halvin 1 rounds, Dagdar 1 rounds, Finn 1 rounds,
Orson
1
a
rounds.
little cautious here, I think, because actually no, it's fine. It's only like 1 archer and 1 soldier. You do have to be a little careful here though, because he takes it's 5.
I think he's okay.
Yeah,
he's gonna dodge something too. Like we all know he's gonna dodge everything.
Oh, what the? Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Are you serious right now?
You don't have the best of luck with axe fighters, do you? Wow.
Oh my god, he got a 2% crit. What? Jesus!
Wow, that's insane.
Don't know.
The funny thing is that soldier blocked the archer from attacking him.
Yeah, no, he probably would have. I don't know. Yeah, I probably
I think
would have.
he actually still could have lived depending on the archer's attack, because that javelin did absolute jack shit to him.
Yeah. So this is we can check. We can check how much she. Yeah, she gets.
She doesn't double with the iron blade. She could with the flame sword, but that thing is so good. I don't really want to use it to capture a freaking soldier. Come on.
Nah,
Like,
I
what do you
think
need all these lances for, man? I think that's really something that people that haven't played Thracia much tend to think very much. They need to capture a bunch of shit because they see all this free treasure on the map and they think, oh my god, I need to capture everything, free items all over the place, but you don't need them. This game is very good. Yeah.
The short lances aren't that strong either. Like they have 20
Yeah.
uses. They're just like bad iron lances, really.
Yes. Yeah, you can buy iron weapons later on in the game. Although you start with 0 gold, so you do want to capture something when it's like free, but don't make the game so tedious for yourself by capturing a bunch of shit. That is one of the things I like to tell people when I'm new to Thracia, and that's why I made the guide to begin with, is to help people get on the road. Because this game is not great blind sometimes. If you like, it can kind of trick you into some bad things if you're used to like some bad RPG habits. But it's also very good about teaching you some things if you're just willing to listen to the lessons that the game gives you. Also, like something I wanted to say earlier actually is, I don't know if this is something that some people think, but you might think I'm very tempted to just guide Mangs on the right path through this game, make sure he does well or something. Nope.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch him fail as many times as it takes. I'm not gonna send him down, because if you want to watch me play Thracia, I have my own channel. You could just do it there. I'm not here to watch another mecha playthrough, but slower. So instead, I'll just watch Mangs fail over and over. I'll help him where it's needed when he's asking stuff, but I'm not gonna hold his hand throughout it.
Okay, watch me pitfall.
Right. I mean, now he has 0 crit because Avel's giving him 10 crit avoid.
Yeah, that was scary.
I don't know if it's that guy, but either way, yeah.
Yeah, so in Thracia, there's a couple of funny aspects about the RNG of this game. First and foremost, hit rates can never go above 99 or below 1. So you'll never see a 0% hit, nor will you see a 100% hit. There is always, just like when you play Pokemon, there's always like that small chance of a miss, right?
Yeah, the first generation of Pokemon, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only generation of Pokemon I know anything about.
It's the only generation that exists, right?
And crit avoid is a thing in this game, but you also get the Crusader Scrolls later, which are pretty good at that. So I just like killing this guy with the Flame Sword.
Yeah, me too. I sometimes give him the hammer treatment instead when I have the time to do it, but Flame Sword is fine too.
Yeah. It's nice. This guy's really bulky, so...
Do you fools realize what you're doing? If I die, so do the woman we took.
Yeah, he has plus 10 defense from the gate, and his base defense is already really high, so the Flame Sword is like super effective at dealing with him.
Damn, you'll live to regret this, all of you!
Here we go. And I think if we want Leaf to actually like conquer on the next turn, I don't think we'll get to do that anyway because we want to visit some villages and we also want the.
Give me a moment to figure this out. I know I said I wouldn't hold your hand, but this kind of stuff's like fun to figure out. So Alpha needs to visit that village in 2 turns only, so he can like fight that soldier and then.
Yeah, and then visit on the next, right?
Yeah, or you can hand axe him with Dagdar. If you like.
But I think if we want Leaf to capture on the next turn, then we need to pick him up with Finn and take him and drop him with Dagdar, I think.
No, you can just move 6 moves twice, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ooh, that's so close. Okay, he does need to be rescue dropped a little bit.
Yeah, so Finn picks him up, Dagdar drops him off, and then we set up Tanya to visit this village, and we can visit this village with Marty next turn.
Okay, sure. I guess I'm used to people growing movement on Leaf the first turn or something. I don't know.
And I think, yeah. No, actually.
Nope, doesn't double.
But with an iron sword, maybe he doubles?
Well, how are you gonna move Finn out of the way and still rescue him then?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he wouldn't have doubled with that anyway.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
if you're okay with wasting light brand use or just getting chip XP, you might get adepts or a moving star or something.
Yeah, I think that works.
I mean, it's kind of tricky to feed Leaf kills. It gets a little bit easier as you go along, but this is like generally a good chapter for it if you're not playing for turns. But since you are, I still can't believe we're living in a world where Mangs plays for turns. Then
I guess we can pick with Dagdar and then drop off with Finn. That's actually a better move.
It's the same thing. It gives you the option to put Finn a little closer to somewhere where you want him, but I think he can reach almost anything anyway.
I think
like
so
you can
too.
put him in a spot where you can maybe like kill that soldier if Halvin misses or something dumb like that.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll just do this.
Although if Halvin misses, it's kind of hard to capture anyway. I don't know. Or kind of hard to win anyway.
That 2% crit though.
He does 1 round if he hits 275s.
Better
He
not
doesn't
get crit
die to
again.
it. Yeah, that could be a problem, I guess. you wanted to, you could have moved Ava towards him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
Alright, first Halvan level up. Let's go! Hit points, strength, defense. Okay.
Oh, that's a good level up. That's what he needs, actually.
Mm-hmm. I don't... Oh, no! We missed the conversation.
Oh, well, rip ranking.
Actually...
But not the most spectacular rank.
I think I can actually set up so that... Nah, it's okay. Y'all made it back. What a relief. But look, there's no more Fianna Freeblades without Fianna, right? So don't just stop with them pirate-driven... So don't just stop with them pirates. Drive the Empire from our village, too. Not to imply that I ain't grateful, of course. Take this with you. Use it if you get scraped up. We don't have much in the way of medicine, but it's the least we can do after everything the Commander's done for us. Dude, that's like the best medicine I could ever get.
It is. It's the best vulnerary ever, actually.
One sip.
They're elixirs in this game.
Yeah, vulneraries in this game are elixirs. They fully heal your HP, which is really nice.
But you still get a ton of them. It's still
oh yeah, no, it's amazing. So,
You don't want to sacrifice a life ring for this.
No. Those Imperial dogs took Dame Marita and Lady Nana. Just snatched them right up like they were cattle. You're not gonna let them get away with that, are you? If you're fixing to fight the Empire, take this with you. This ring's enchanted with some spell or another. But don't just wear it on your finger like some common bauble. You gotta actually use it for you to do any good. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think someone said that those brackets for use were actually already in the original for some dialogue. I don't know if it's the case for this one, but I know it's the case for some dialogue in Chapter 4, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Big brother, I got some...
I cannot take any dialogue serious that says Big Brother anymore. Thanks,
Fates have ruined that for me. I got something real special for you. You can use this to keep yourself safe, right? An axe? Where in the world did you get such a fine weapon? Darnest thing, I was walking past a lake up on some mountain when this strange old crone just floated out of the water. Are you kidding me? This was not in the original.
I have no idea. There's no way to check.
She activated the Lex event?
Yeah.
She gave it to me, then vanished quick as you can blink. I've been keeping it for you and taking real good care of it. Now go put it to use and make me proud. Crone, though, like, I seem to recall the girl giving Lex the axe was kind of hot, but, you know. I guess she appears in multiple forms.
Yeah, but are you saying the crone part wasn't in it, or like the whole Lex story wasn't in the original?
I don't know.
Because I know I can't read Japanese, but I do believe Mia has like the whole scripts and translation notes and everything up on her website.
Oh, right. I don't know. Like, I don't... It's been so long since I played the Shia patch, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it was a Shia patch, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I can... Wow.
Come on.
I tried capturing.
Yeah, you sure did. You got punished for it, so that's what I'm saying. Don't capture everything.
I like capturing.
I think you could have traded over the Brave Axe to do it.
I probably could have. Yeah, you're right. But oh well, because it goes to Finn. Oh,
maybe
really?
not, because Finn would have to like walk back to Halvan first. Maybe we wouldn't have enough move.
Mm-hmm.
6-9.
Yep. Nice. All right, and then there's this village.
And sword, I think.
Weapons can be mighty expensive, can't they? Most folk here gotta do by nicking supplies from Imperial troops. It's awfully risky, but if you can capture an enemy alive, you get to help yourself to their stuff. Matter of fact, I got a drop of an Imperial soldier myself. Heard I'm snoring from 3 houses away, so took me a souvenir. Not that it'll do me doing much good, though. Probably better off in your hands, I reckon. And hey, if you don't need it, you can just hawk it for something you do need.
Oh, we got Rad.
You know what? The writing of this patch reminds me very much of Echoes almost, which is a very charmingly written game.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Alright, so that is the first chapter completed in 6 turns.
I think the fastest you can do is 4, so that's not bad.
Nana, Marita, where are you? Please answer me! Little Nan, Marita, Raedric must have taken them. What? That means they were taken to Munster, right? Yes, bargaining chips in case Weissman couldn't finish the job. It's the sort of thing Raedric would pull, alright. God's breath. Commander, we have to give chase. The 2 of them are counting on us. Now, look here, little leaf. Commander, you yourself said I'm not a child anymore. Nana and Marita were taken captive because of me, and I refuse to let anyone suffer in my place. I will never again let someone sacrifice their life in exchange for mine. I understand. We'll leave at dawn, then. I won't lie, little lord. This is gonna get rough. Get some rest while you can. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is Chapter 1 of Thracia 776.
Can I say one more thing?
What? Yeah, sure.
I love this translation patch. Also, I as much as I've played this game, I haven't read the story too much lately, and I actually didn't read any of the new translations for a long time.
Me neither.
Partially because I knew this Let's Play was coming up at some point, so I just wanted to see it for the first time, and I absolutely love it so far. It's so good.
I forgot to say this, but of course it goes without saying, if you want to get this translation patch for yourself, link in the video description. You can go get it. It is absolutely amazing. Makes the game so much more enjoyable. Anyway, guys, remember to leave that like, comment, and subscribe for more Thracia. My name is Mangs.
I'm Mecha.
We shall see you guys next time.
See ya.